eating have always been a big part of my life, mostly the eating of the food. I just am passionate about food. Food that I cook, food that other people cook, leftovers, other people's leftovers. Somebody once made a t-shirt for me quoting me saying, "You're gonna eat that?" I just see a lot of God's generosity showing up in the food that we have and the ways that it can be enjoyed. I mean, even just think of the raw materials that we have to work with. Can you imagine being the first person to come across a mango? Now, maybe it was obvious seeing all of this on a tree that it would be worth cutting into, taking the risk to see what this is. Oh my gosh, this mango. Someone took the risk at one point and cut this open and peeled the skin and found the most wonderful, juicy, bright, tangy fruit that it is incomparable to other things that we have come up with to eat. This one sucks. Okay. It's like the pit is so big I couldn't get into it. There's so much to see and so much generosity in all of these good raw materials that God has given us. You know, we could have just gotten food that would meet our nutritional needs and didn't require preparing and didn't have any sort of interest to it. But instead, we have all these raw materials that show us a creative mind in the universe that is so far beyond what any of us could have come up with on our own. It might have been obvious looking at the mango that that could be a good bet that that's good food. But the ginger root is not obvious. This doesn't look good, but it is so good. It does so much for us. It flavors our tea and our food, and it reduces inflammation. I mean, God probably also knew that some of us were not going to be able to draw worth anything. My pictures are barely distinguishable from my sons, who are in kindergarten and second grade, but I can really put together some beautiful dishes of food. The colors and the textures, all of that is how I create. It's how I make art. It's how I can appreciate color. It's how I can appreciate how things can be put together to make beauty. You know, it could be overlooked, but it's worth mentioning that one of God's small gifts with our food is that it needs to be prepared. And right about 5 p.m., I need a break for my kids because it's been 2 hours since we got home from school. So sorry, kiddos, Mama's gotta go make dinner.